John, Thomas and two of their friends went to a mountainous area on the last day of the week to spend 2 or 3 days. They took with them a tent, lights, food, and water. They set out in the evening. He enjoyed a route with stunning views. When approaching the mountainous area at sunset and on a road, they noticed an old woman walking alone on the side of the road, but her features were not clear. The friends were amazed at this old woman because a wilderness area was empty of residents. They continued walking, and when they arrived the place, there was a beautiful view with the sunset. The friends began to take down their luggage and the tent and set it up. And one of the friends cooked dinner. John, Thomas and their other friend were talking about the beauty of this mountainous area, especially at sunset, but after an hour had passed, Thomas felt uncomfortable with this place. While they were talking, they heard the sound of dogs barking in the area. They tried to find the source of the sound, but the source was unclear, coming sometimes from one side and sometimes from the other side. The friends began to feel afraid, but John spoke and said, "Do not be afraid. They are just stray dogs and they will leave this place. Do not ruin this trip." The friends went back to chatting and laughing. But Thomas was worried and uncomfortable. While they were talking, Thomas noticed a black shadow behind the car. He told his friends. They all went to see this shadow but did not find anything. They said to Thomas, "Maybe you are imagining." They returned to their places, waiting for dinner. And they saw a fire burning in the dinner, and the dinner burned and fell on the ground. The friends felt panic and fear. Thomas spoke and said, "We must come back home because this place is unsafe. There are ghosts." John spoke and said, "Are you afraid, Thomas?" He started laughing at Thomas. Here Thomas felt embarrassed in front of his friends and said, "I am not afraid. If all want stay, I am with them." The friends start cooking dinner again and continued chatting. They began to hear the sound of footsteps approaching them and a black shadow behind the car. Here all the friends stopped and went to the car. Here they saw an old woman who that they seen her on the side road before. John asked the old woman, "What are you doing here?" The old woman said, "Need someone to take me to the village." Here the friends felt panic and fear for this old woman. But John decided to take the old woman in a car. John set off with the old woman. While he was on the road, John started to smell a bad odor in the car. He lowered the car window. John noticed along the road that there was a valley. The old woman asked John to stop to fill a bottle of water from the valley. John felt afraid of this mysterious old woman. He stopped and the old woman came down and John saw the scene in darkness in the moonlight. When the old woman arrived in the valley, she dived directly into the valley and disappeared. All that remained was her black hair on the surface of the valley. Here John almost fainted from extreme fear. John knew that he was dealing with the ghost world, and returned to his friends. The sounds of dogs barking followed him along the road. When he arrived his friends, he told them the story. They felt afraid and decided to return home and not complete the journey. The friends, when they arrived at their homes and after some days had passed, John suffered from terrifying nightmares in his sleep, and the old woman always came to him in his dreams. After that John decided never to go out to isolated areas.